So we're only in the third week of January 2026. Just before I start, my opinions are my own. They do not reflect clients, employers, or anyone that I know. But yeah, I think it's going to be a recurring message, I guess, throughout my my videos and things. Unless something is affecting you immediately, your job is to look after you, the people that rely on you, and also your local community. So if you're not based in some of these areas that are experiencing conflict, fear, propaganda, I mean, the propaganda is the news. So if you're tuning into the news, you're feeding that system. You're giving it your time, you're giving it your energy, and if you're getting scared by what you're listening to and you're still listening to it, you are feeding your own fear. And fear is like one of the biggest ways to deplete your own energy and ultimately your life force, believe it or not. I'm trying to be careful in how I word things, but just for instance, some of the stuff that's coming out of the US at the minute, my best advice is if you're based in the UK, you shouldn't be getting involved, you shouldn't be engaging in these stories that are coming out, as troubling and as whatever else they are to you. Now, why I got involved in Gaza, for instance, was because I saw first-hand videos of what was happening, and I connected with people directly on the ground. So I mean, if you have ties to the US, if you're tied to people that are experiencing these troubles, by all means do what you can, but try not to get too consumed by it, because your energy is best spent elsewhere, and I'm going to kind of delve into why that's important. So what's happening at the minute, I mean, there's all talk, and there's been talk for like the last 3-4 years about a potential World War III. I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. This has just kind of been what's put out, especially by mainstream news media as well, not just your tinfoil hat people, you know. In terms of everything, the best way to look at it, yes, these are very troubling times, but you have to kind of reserve your energy to the best you can, place it in things that you can actually change firsthand. And one of the best ways to do this is not letting the fear of this propaganda stop you from your goals. And I know that might sound counterintuitive and counterproductive and things like that, but the reasoning behind that is a lot of the fear that's kind of put out is designed to stop you in your tracks, to kind of beat you down spirit-wise, emotionally, mentally, you know, physically, in certain cases and things. And it's to try and keep you in a submissive position as a person, subservient to these systems at play. But what I'm saying might sound counterintuitive, but the real way to make change within these systems is to create against it, and not in a organise people and you know, take up arms and all that thing. I don't condone violence whatsoever. I know there'll be people, well, we have no choice, everyone still has a choice. It's kind of how you play these systems and people in these positions at their own games. So the best way to do this is to kind of focus on you first, build yourself up as an entity, an unshakable entity. So what does that mean? Maybe it's down to your finances. Get financially stable, embedded in your local community, let people know who you are, what you do. If you have services or products that you want to kind of sell to your local community, put it out, get behind you as an entity first. Focus back to you, because this is where the energy source comes from. It's from us as people. Like I've said previously in some of my my videos and things, especially when it's kind of hitting on geopolitical topics, unless if you're listening to this news and whatever else you're kind of doom scrolling on social media, you need to switch off. If you can't kind of function within it, or you're getting so overwhelmed by it, you're not even focusing on your own goals, you're not even focusing on the possibility of change, then you need to switch off. This is like the only way to kind of get centered again. Does not give your, I always hiccup, is not give your energy to this beast thing. If you are in the US and you're watching this, I'd try and advise people not to fall for the fear and be discerning in what you're kind of consuming media wise. And if you're kind of stuck in these areas where there is kind of active conflict and things, then just try and protect yourself as best you can. Now, my video is more targeted to UK based audiences, just because I'm UK based, and what I see currently is very much kind of similar to what was happening with Gaza. And what's really disheartened me, and I had a long chat with a dear friend of mine about this, was the fact that people jumped on it almost like it was a trend. And there's still people that still need help. So this is what I mean, try and focus your energy on people that actually need help at the minute. There are enough people in America, in the US, and there are problems closer to home that need addressing. I think this is the best way to word it. I'm trying to be so careful in how I word things. And my video isn't intended to kind of produce fear or anything like that, but the thing is, there are problems closer to home that people should be focusing their energy on and not being fragmented by the outside that doesn't immediately affect them. So one being everyone's mental health, because you know, you've got to stay sane inside insanity. The good old Rocky Horror Show line, you have very much, because unfortunately, what kind of baffles me is the fact that it's been like this for thousands of years. This is nothing new. It's just because we're in it now. We have media to consume right away, instead of the older days when you'd have to wait for a certain time of day for your news updates and things like that. Now it's so readily available to us, but that is a tool used by these systems as well, is to kind of put out as much content and allow as much content, because this is the thing with a lot of these platforms, no content gets on there without that platform allowing it. And how AI is now, it's very strict in its content that's allowed to get out. So just be mindful, if you are consuming something, it's because that's been allowed to be put out. I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I had to kind of take it down. The way a lot of these systems, let's just call them systems, work is they cause fear. So if they can't cause mass fear, what they do is divide and conquer, because that's one of the most like formulative like ways to conquer people, is to divide them, create separation within people, especially collective, whether that be your skin colour, your creed, your sexuality, just the areas that you live, the social status that you have, how much money you have in the bank. These are all labels and tactics to create division within people. This is how the system has been designed. If you're blaming one group of people, if you're kind of siding with either side, you're just playing into the narrative that they want. So the best way to kind of not engage with them is to build your own system within these systems. So how do you do that? You have to first focus on you, getting you as centered and as grounded to the point where, you know, if you're hearing something, you can actually pick that piece of media content, whatever, apart and kind of see what is the intent behind it. Everything is intent in the media. There's an intention behind it. It's either to kind of drive fear so you don't question like any policies or new policies that are brought in or changes to these systems, or it's a way to kind of drive fear, keep you in your home, or push you online so you start buying whatever is online to you. So yeah, just be very discerning in the information that you consume, and if someone's coming at you with all these facts and figures and whatever else they've heard, just know that's something they've heard. It's not something that you've actually seen yourself. If you've seen it yourself, obviously then you're kind of pushed to make whatever decision and changes you need to make within your life at that moment. But yeah, I think for observers of everything, if you're jumping on purely from something that you've heard and not experienced firsthand, please take a moment to just step back and really analyse the broader aspects of things, and then get centered again. You know, reduce everything back to you. But what the world actually needs now is creativity, hope, and just the community factor that's been lacking for the last God knows how many years, really. You've got to create community with people that don't look like you, people that don't have as much money as you, people that might not necessarily have the same opinions of you, which can be the hardest thing I think in this life, is finding that common denominator between differing opinions and things, you know. The thing is, we're all different, we're all supposed to be different. This is the whole beauty of this world, even though like this species, my god. I'm just hoping I get my soul retirement. I believe very much in reincarnation, you know. Energy is indestructible, and unfortunately it just takes shape in these dense, they're not even, I can't even liken them to animals. Animals don't behave like this. It's very much people are the problem on this planet. So I'm kind of like nihilistic, like torn between humanitarianism and things. Yeah, I just like to kind of, like so many people I guess, is just hide away from it all and not deal with it. But unfortunately I get moved to share what I see and things. So in terms of doom and gloom, we are the creators of everything in our reality. So what we say, what we speak, will come to fruition. So if you're spreading doom and gloom, you will see more facts and external things to kind of reinforce that belief, because unfortunately our brains are designed to always be right. This is why we get stuck in patterns and ruts, and God knows how many like bizarre situations that we land ourselves in. We get stuck in these mindsets, and then we're so set in them because we don't like to be wrong as people, and we're so stubborn as a species. The way to combat that is to stay open-minded and just know that the only way to kind of navigate life is continually learn, continually stay open to things. Don't fall for the fear. And I mean, I've said this numerous times, and if people don't know what I mean, it's purely for the simple thing of like, we have expiration dates as people, you know. Whenever there's fear put out, like fear, if we break down fear, it's fear is like an end to our life. That's kind of the thing behind a fear. I don't know what the right wording is, like the technical wording is, but that's kind of the big things behind fear. It could like end our lives. It's a biological thing. It's not necessarily like a conscious thing that we think about. But if we get conscious about fear and break it down, the thing is, we all have expiration dates anyway, so there's nothing really to fear in life apart from fear itself, you know. And it's an illusion. It's one of the greatest illusions, and it's one of the biggest like power plays, and it's one of the biggest like tactics in marketing as well. So I work in marketing, so I can very much tell you one of the most effective ways to get money from people is cause fear and lack. That if they don't buy a product, you know, it might mean like they get ostracized, or like they'll get like outcast if they don't have this, or you know, their lives won't continue unless they buy this product. That is fear. But that's one thing, because I know there's so many people in a certain frequency and they just end up being like the battery source for this fear energy, and they end up feeding it. They end up like putting out more stuff, or reposting things that they've seen, or sharing things, but they're not really sure what they're sharing. They're just sharing the fear. You know, it's not even like the information. They're not really consuming the information, because if you were consuming the information, you'd be able to kind of hold it, analyze it, pull it apart, see what affects you, and then put it back out, or just leave it and not share. This is very much how these social media platforms are designed. They're designed now to kind of cause distress within people, because that's the best way you improve engagement on a platform, believe it or not. If you want to boost your post, the easiest and quickest way to get engagement is to have an opinion on something. But the minute you put your opinion out, you're creating a divide. You're kind of segmenting yourself to a group of people that share that belief or that opinion. And the thing is, within life, it doesn't matter if you're degree, masters, bachelors, whatever, everything in life, if it's come from a person, it's just one person's opinion, unless you've learned things firsthand. And that's what life is about. You're supposed to learn things firsthand. You're supposed to have experiences firsthand. If you're kind of shutting yourself off and just kind of consuming media and things that don't affect you immediately, you'll just become incapacitated. And that is very much what these systems want. They want you to be incapacitated. They want you to just about go to work, just about have that mental health capacity to sustain a job and sustain bills, and not really have ambition, because you're kind of okay as long as you're safe behind your door. Nothing outside of you matters, but continue to consume and maybe buy this product while you've just scrolled past another video. You know, that's kind of how the systems are designed. So yeah, then on the extreme version of that, or the extreme side of that, is the people that jump on every fight and every... It's such a shame, because behind it all, every single person on this planet just wants to belong to a group of people. That's the driving force behind a lot of actions in life. Is, you know, if I don't join someone or some group, you know, I'm going to be alone. And like biology, or instinctual biology says, like, if you're alone you won't be able to survive, because, you know, humans for millennia have only ever really survived in community. So yeah, I mean, if you want to kind of switch off from everything outside of us, delve into like the history of the planet. If you want to really make sense of everything, if you're finding it overwhelming to the point you can't understand why people behave the way they do, it's quite a sad affair, to be honest, when you do actually analyse us as a species. You know, we're so, and we've created it. You know, we're the creators of our own realities, and then, you know, you have the extreme version of that, where you have like these toxic people. Well, you know, don't engage with it, it's not real unless you kind of believe it. There's an energy, you have to kind of tune into the energy of things to understand it, and also know when your energy is needed and when it's not, where your energy is best spent. So yeah, I don't know if any of this is making sense. I hope it is. And yeah, people still very much have power. That's I don't know if that's kind of my I don't really want it to be. I don't want this thing at all. But I don't know, I'm kind of pushing for my soul retirement, so maybe this is one way to get it, stack up the points. And then I'll be able to kind of retire to whatever realm, who knows. But yeah, people still very much have power. It's in the attention that you give something, it's in the energy that you give something, it's in your time. Your time is the most valuable asset you have as a person. This is like why I'm so kind of adamant in kind of putting out, not in a fear-mongering or scare tactic thing at all. It's just kind of make people aware that your time on this planet is so short, and if you spend it locked indoors consuming fear content that doesn't fulfill you and drains you, you won't have any life, you won't enjoy anything. And there's so much in this world to enjoy, regardless of what is put out on news and social media and everything like that. And the simplest of things bring the most joy. So yeah, try and switch off from anything that doesn't immediately affect you. Because how I analyse things as well, there are ways to kind of combat these systems. It's to create within the systems, you know, continue creating, because when there's so much like destructive energy, the only way to kind of counterbalance that is with creation. You know, this world, this realm, whatever the hell we're in, maybe hell itself, who knows. If you follow Gnosticism or Tree of Life and things like that, we're technically like one of the lowest realms. So that's why it's so destructive and things. But the ultimate lesson to graduate from this Hellfest is to learn balance. It's to learn duality, and duality within us as well as outside of us. So the opposite of destruction is creation. So create as much as you can. And I've seen this like throughout like the years and things, when there's so much like negative, there's this kind of undercurrent that kind of flows in, and it's this kind of positive creation force. And if you can tap into that, that is like the ultimate way to escape the matrix, the fear reality, is to kind of create your own reality within the systems. Hopefully that makes sense. That's not woo-woo, this is like actual science as well, you know. You can either allow yourself to kind of take these events on, create this negative energy and attach it to it, so it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and then like the initial event itself. This is, I think, like psychology and things, where you kind of don't perceive something as a neutral event. You're attaching a bigger meaning to it, and you've given that power, you've given that attachment to something. We have the power to perceive always. And this is the best way to kind of stay resilient in life as well. So when things come in and they do knock us for six and all that thing, you know, we have the power and the capability as well. This is what I think people are missing, the fact that you do have power, you do have a value, you do have worth on this planet and things, and like every single person is equally as more valuable as the next person, just because the systems have kind of propped up these bizarre weirdos. A lot of them are. They're just, I mean, you can just see it. The characters very much kind of leak out of every pore. They're the most insecure people, they're the most lacking, they're the most greedy, they're the most kind of uncompassionate. What's that? The opposite of compassion. Incompassionate or uncompassionate? Yeah, non-compassionate. And the thing is, that type of person will never experience the full joys of this planet. And it's not in money, it's not in wealth, it's not in material stuff. It's very much in the simple living. You know, waking up and being grateful that you've woken up, being grateful that you've got a roof over your head, being grateful that you've got food on your table, being grateful for the air that you breathe, being grateful for like nature around you. It's very much that. That's why to a certain extent, I pity them, but you know, I believe that we create the realities ourselves and things. So these people, you know, they've played into their own demise. So yeah, try not to play into the fear, because if it looks like the world has just gone crazy, it's always been like that. Yeah. It literally always, this is what I mean, if you look into the history of the world, nothing is new. Absolutely nothing. We think we're so special that we're experiencing like this worldwide doom and gloom and hierarchical like mess and tyrannical like society and authoritarianism. It's been around for thousands of years, if not since the birth of civilization. You know, to civilize a person isn't to give freedom, it's to imprison within a confined system and things. So yeah, look into mindfulness. This is the best way to kind of combat like distressing news and things. You know, I have PTSD. I can kind of speak firsthand how mindfulness works. It's kind of allowing, not allowing your thoughts to kind of spiral into a really like dark place and things, you know. So yeah, look into mindfulness. Look in, if you're not happy in your circumstance, like your immediate circumstance, be it your income or your area that you live in, then look into ways that you can change that. If you're kind of content, I keep hiccuping as well. But yeah, if you're content in your everyday life kind of thing, you know, your job, your work or career, your income, then, and you're still kind of getting a bit like distressed by the news that's put out, then look into the history of things and look into the counterbalance to destruction, which is creation and hobbies and things that kind of make you feel alive as a person, you know, grateful for your life and things. If you're so kind of down in the dumps in your life, then look into helping, be that in like community initiatives or kind of further afield. You know, I still very much help families in Gaza and things, just because I know they still need help, which is very disheartening to me, because there were so many people that kind of built their social media platforms and things, trying to help people, and the minute they kind of a ceasefire was called, they just stopped promoting the people that need help. So yeah, I mean, there's so many people that need help. If you're kind of lacking a purpose in life, then yeah, look to the people that are calling for help, and do something. Watching these media pieces and you're not really in those areas and you're not really sure what's happening, but you think you've got to kind of make an opinion or side with people, that's not going to make any difference. It's just kind of again, feeding the fear, and that's the thing with it as well. There's two sides to fear. So which side do you want to pick? Or do you want to kind of just say, I'm not engaging with that, I'm going to try and do what I can within the environment or the locale that I'm in. I think I'm going to leave it at that, because that seems like a very long video, and I'm hoping there's some sense in it. Stay sane inside insanity, that's kind of like my motto, and know yourself. So your duty in this life is to kind of know yourself, and I mean, just a closing thing, I don't want to kind of ramble on, but the thing is, we come in whole as people. We actually come in whole. We have all of the right traits that we're supposed to possess as people: imagination, creativity, you know, that thing of not seeing divide, you know. And then the system is designed to fragment us as people. So our life path in life is to get whole again, and realise it's very much that Wizard of Oz thing, you know. We had the power all along. So yeah, if you've got things to create, if you're an artist, a writer, whatever, just a creative, you know, put your work out. This is what the world needs. Share it. Don't put a price tag. If you're putting things out just to try and make millions or whatever else, that system doesn't exist. Hasn't existed for a long time, and that's the illusion as well. There's very much gatekeepers in a lot of these elite industries, and they only put through people that they think will have influence on people. Yeah, so don't try and create to kind of jump into the systems, because the systems, they're very much dying, and this is the thing, because these systems are semi-conscious to a point, they're very much aware that their time is running out as well. So they will cause as much fear and lack and everything else in their unbecoming. So yeah, create new systems, you know. The whole point of creativity was to inspire others to create. That's the beauty of like the creative like force and energy, if you tap into it correctly. And it's not to create lack, it's not to create a hierarchical, oh my god, celebrate me because I've created this, you know. It should be a thing, oh look, I've created this, what have you created? You should create this as well, you know. It's that kind of encouragement thing. That's the positive community that we should be creating on this planet. There's so many causes that you can get behind if you are kind of lacking purpose and things, you know, the food being one of the biggest ones. So there's so many ways that these systems try and quell us as people, and one being like nutrition. Deprive nutrition to the brain, you won't question because you'll be so foggy or just feeling down in the dumps, or just kind of low immune system that you'll constantly be ill. So you're not really in the mood to kind of think outside of the systems, you know. Then the mental health crises, you know, that's like another big thing, which again, that comes off the back of like nutrition, but also disarming people and not giving them the right tools to cope in life. There's so many different things that the system used to keep us subservient and yeah, not stepping into our power. Because unfortunately there's a few corrupt people in this world, and they are a few, it's a minority. It's not some like big grand force, it's actually like a handful of people compared to the billions on the planet, you know, that try and cause fear, because that's the only way they can feel special as people, which is very sad. I'm going to leave it at that. If you share the opinions of this video, yeah, just take this as I don't know, entertainment maybe, because that's what it is in the grand scheme of things. This is how the universe gets its kicks. It's trying to create divide, it's trying to create chaos to see how we navigate and see if we've learned the lessons. So yeah, blame the universe if you have to blame anyone. And then thank the universe as well. Always thank it, because even though things look really bad and you think, oh, the universe has put this in my path, oh god damn you, like that's, why did you do that? You know, we're constantly being tested as people, because we're temporary, we're not supposed to be here long term. It's a school to learn the lessons so we can all graduate and I can retire. That's it. If you enjoyed that, do subscribe, guys, girls, non-binds. Like the video if you want to, share if you want to, I don't really care. I just kind of feel like I have to say things, hopefully it helps someone who hears it or needs to hear it, and yeah, it's one way that I don't kind of step into the fear stream, because it's such a shitty, dirty stream. Why would you even want to step in that? That's it. Stay awesome, stay classy, be kind, bye.